What's going on, guys? Indy here with Ultimate 2 Review. So today we're taking a look at the new Evolution RAGE5-S table saw. We're also taking a look at some of Evolution's new blades as well too. I had no idea they're actually made in Japan. So I'm going to pull out the miter saw, we're going to check that out, and also going to check out the table saw with some of the new blades as well too, and see how well they compare to, right now I got a couple of the cheap ones, like Wen from Amazon. I've used those quite a bit now. They're great because they're cheap, but they really don't last too long. And Evolution says they have some of the longest lasting blades in the business, so let's find out. But of course, first we have to assemble this thing. So let's see how hard this thing is. I'm going through the instructions right now. I got most of it unboxed already. It's actually not that heavy of a table saw. I'm actually quite surprised. So let's see how long it takes us. And I'm going to, of course, speed this up. We'll see how well it goes. So let's go for this. Well, I gotta admit, first off, this is the instruction manual for assembly. Yeah, kind of daunting. It's like 9:30 in the morning right now, and still a little tired, but yeah, this is gonna be fun here. So they do give you, of course, directions step by step, but yeah, it does look a little complicated here. Wish these pictures had a little bit more detail. Let's see how long this takes me to really assemble here. All right, so none of these bags are actually labeled, so you have to reference when they say, if they say use fixings B and I to attach, you have to come over here and look at these really small diagrams to find out what B and I actually is. I can barely even see what B and I is there, so yeah, it's a little tricky here getting this assembled. All right, well, at this point, I've pretty much given up on the instructions. I am totally lost here. Um, it says figure 6 here, and it says to attach components labeled 5 and 6, which 5 and 6 aren't even in that photo at all. 5 is right here, and 6 is right here. Actually, kind of a weird angle on this picture here, because this piece is 6, but that is not in figure 6 at all. Figure 7 here says to attach this. When you are doing figure 7, note the position of the one curved bar there. I will say that it was kind of helpful. But at this point, I'm kind of just guessing, and I'm basically just putting this picture upside down and going from there. So I'm pretty lost at this point, but I think I've got it figured out based off of this photo. Here's what I'm going after. So yeah, this is like super confusing here. This is probably the hardest assembly I've ever done. Anything I've assembled this year in my channel. So this is pretty wildly complicated. I wish these photos were a lot more detailed, like actual photos of the unit, not just these drawings here. That would make this a lot easier, because I cannot tell the orientation, especially right here in figure 5 and 6. This took the longest here, because you can't tell the orientation of this small bar and of the little clamp there. It's really hard to tell exactly what you're doing here. It's probably the hardest part there, honestly. Okay, that's finally the base setup now. I think I'm about 45, 50 minutes into this setup now, and yeah, this is taking forever. I probably did more guessing than I did actually following the instructions, because yeah, the instructions are quite confusing on this thing. But let's get the rest of this thing set up, get a blade installed, and we'll see how well it works. Okay, so Evolution includes a made in Japan. This is going to be a multi-purpose blade here for steel, aluminum, wood, and plastic, maximum of 4,500 RPM. So let's get this thing installed, and we'll see how easy this is to change blades on here. All right, we got the blade on. We got the riving knife is all set up on there. Also the blade guard. Check this out. The fence is actually really silky smooth here. I like how easy it is to take on and off. Definitely got, you know, a really good design on the fence. I like just the overall smooth it is. A lot of these fences and a lot of these saws, you know, they get either really tight or really loose. And then, of course, they do offer adjustments down here that you can make, just small adjustments to make sure that you are all lined up. All right, some more features of the Rage. We have a nice dust extraction here. I kind of wish we had a better situation for wrapping the cord up. I can wrap the cord up, but then there's no place to actually attach the plug here, which is kind of silly. Which was a spot to actually put the plug to hold this cable in nicely. As I mentioned before, we've got a nice blade storage on the side here with 2 wrenches, allowing you to actually get the blade changed out quite easily. Moving over to the side here, here is going to be our on-off switch here, and then of course we've got our angle of the blade, and then we can raise and lower the blade. It's actually pretty quick to raise and lower that blade. Of course, you can make some adjustments down here. Everything is adjustable nicely depending on the type of blade you're using, or if something gets slightly out of line, you can make adjustments very easily to this saw. Here is currently all of your measurements, max thickness, max angles you can do. So that is all right up there for you. Fence looks great. You know, a lot of plastic up here. I will say the blade cover is a little flimsy. You might break this off pretty quick depending on what you're doing. There is one, you know, hand screw on the side here. That's how you get it on and off. So it is pretty quick and easy to get on and off, but of course it's not the most secure, I will say that. All right, so let's make a few quick cuts here, see how well this thing does. I got the fence all set up. Let's check it out. All right, so I made no adjustments to this. Of course, right out the bat, of course, I'm going to need to make a few adjustments to the saw, but right out of the box, it's actually not terribly set up here. Let me get a square and set this thing up. Alrighty, much better of a cut there. That looks a lot better now. It's all set up. Honestly, it's not as loud as I thought it would be. I'm actually quite impressed by how quiet it is. Comes in at only about 65 pounds. I'm just going to wrap this thing up, and I'd like to see how easy this thing is to maneuver. When I fold up the legs, let's find out here. Okay, not bad. Got on the wheels. Okay, this is actually pretty nice here. Collapses down quite easily. Let's see how well it goes back up. Alright guys, well, taking a look at the Evolution Rage 5 table saw. Honestly, I'm at about an hour 10 right now for total setup time. Yeah, it's really confusing to set up. If you got any questions in the comments, let me know. I can try to help you guys as best you can if you want to set this thing up. Thanks again to Evolution for sending this my way. Also, I've got a number of blades, too, from Evolution that we're going to be trying out. I've got a bunch of them that are all made in Japan. I've got one that is going to be aluminum. I have a, what is this one? Fine wood. And then I've also got a steel blade, as well as the mixed blade in here. So my Makita miter saw is a 10-inch blade, so I'm going to put a few of those on there. I mentioned earlier in the video that I've got some Wen blades, and of course, they don't last very long. Now, I'm really curious to see how these Evolution blades stack up against Diablo blades, because of course, you know, both are quite expensive, but which one's going to give you the best bang for your buck? So I'm going to throw on the wood blade onto my miter saw. We're going to use the saw a little bit, and we're going to see which blades really kind of come out on top there, just from me using it, you know, day to day on job site use. I'm really curious to see which ones kind of come out on top. But if you want to check out some of the Evolution blades, all made in Japan. I believe Diablo is all made in Switzerland, somewhere around in Europe, somewhere in there. So they're both, you know, not made in China, which is pretty cool to see. That you can definitely get some quality blades still nowadays, which is awesome to find out. So again, this is a pretty cool table saw. I think it's got a lot of awesome features to it. Just needs some more, you know, tweaking, some nice setup to really get it dialed in quite nicely. And, you know, other than the really confusing setup, it's actually a pretty solidly built table saw. Pretty decent deal from Evolution. You want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. You want to check that out. And thanks again, guys, for watching. We'll get some more videos on these blades here coming soon. I know Evolution's going to have some cool sales as well. But thanks again, guys. Take care, and definitely stay safe out there.